All right, welcome to the Broken Pilot House series. If you're wondering, this don't look like a pilot house. Well, it's not, but look what we got here. A brand new motor on a rotten hull. Ended up buying this whole boat for pretty cheap. So we're going to take this motor off of it, and this is going to be the official motor for the Broken Pilot House. 250 Suzuki. Only got 38 hours on it. It's going to be a nice motor for our Parker. And here we are, going to go ahead and take this motor off. So stay tuned here. All right, here's the mess inside. Got my jump box, so we're going to grab these cables here so we can trim the motor down and start getting this thing off of here. It's trimmed up too high for us to do anything with right now. So we're gonna take these leads and trim her down. And we'll turn our charger on here. I haven't used it before, so let's hope that's what it is. Go over here. And we got power. Down we go. That'll probably be good enough. Pulled the shifting and throttle cables, so we gotta pull the cowling. Already opened that one. And same over here. There we go. Now we'll pull the cowling off. So now what we're gonna try and take all these cables out here. Gotta figure out how exactly we take this out. Disconnect our power wires here, positive, negative. Main harness wire, I believe that goes to the ignition switch, and disconnect it from here. Looks like a bolt here and a couple bolts down there, and you might even have to take it off back here from what I can tell looking at it. We'll find out more in just a little bit. All right, de-rigging this thing. I got all the bolts out, loosened up, so now we'll see if it comes out. And it should come. There we go. Right off. And there we are. Access to our cables here. On to the next step. All right, so what I can tell, the next step here, we got to remove this, the positive, the negative. We got to remove this wire right here. And then we have to remove our two shifting cables, this one here and this one here. And then last but not least, we got to follow this fuel line right here all the way there and remove that fuel line right there coming into the boat so that we can get this motor hanging free with no cables on it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll show you the next step. One thing I forgot, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to tape this line here so I know which one's which. When I come back and watch this video, I will know that one goes in the bottom and the other one goes on the top, so I know which one's the shift cable, which one's the actual throttle cable, so I don't have to play around with it too much. All right, and that's it. Just like I said, removed the battery terminals, did that, unplugged that switch, unplugged that plug, removed the fuel line from right there. It snakes through here, and then you got to remove your two shifting cables, and that was it. I'm gonna go ahead and put our side piece back on so we can put our center cowling back on, so whenever I'm ready to remove this motor, it is ready to go. Put all your pieces back on, like your nut, your bolts. That way you're not losing them or missing them later on in the project. Now that we have all this disconnected, we can start at the steering. We're going to take this bolt off, this nut off, and this nut, and same on the other side. Then we're going to hope like hell that this black little arm here comes off. If it does, great. If not, we're going to have to go to a buddy of mine's that has a puller to pull that off. But I don't think we're going to have a problem with this, being that this motor has such low hours. But we're soon to find out. I will show you the video as soon as we get these nuts pulled. All right, got the nuts off. This isn't the most ideal tool. Be very careful with it. You don't want to score your cylinder here. That can lead to seal damage. And you don't want to hit this too hard where you damage it either. Cast, sometimes that can be brittle. But this is the only tool we got right now. So we're going to try and hit here a little bit. Just try and loosen it up. Hit around here just for any corrosion that might build up. Same here. Some light taps. We'll see if we can wiggle this loose here. It doesn't look like it's going to pop loose, so I'm going to have to put the phone down and we'll see what tool is going to take this off. I'll keep you posted. Good news, this finally popped off of here. So what I did, I took this off here, and then once you get that off, you can slide this whole ram out this tube right here. And then I just put everything back together, as you can see here, just so we don't lose any parts, lose any washers. And that is disconnected. It appears this motor is ready to come off now. So from here, we're gonna get this cherry picker here and pick up the motor and get it off of this boat. And then this boat is gonna be bye-bye, adios, on to the broken pilot house. All right, got the old motor off, the new motor on here. This is all we got to do. One thing I forgot to grab is some 5200. So I'm gonna have to run to West Marina real quick before I finish. But this is where we're at now. I wanted to get this butted up here so my crane leaks down just a little bit. So I want to make sure it took some of the pressure off. So we are pretty close enough to move it on. As you can see, it's easily movable, just with one hand. So this will be on in no time. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit because I gotta put some 5200 around this spot right there and around that bolt hole right there, just to make sure this bracket don't leak. Aside from that, that's all we gotta do. This side up here really don't need it, but I'm gonna probably smear a little bit around there anyway. We're gonna go inside and outside just to double seal it up. Here's the bolts we're using from the other boat. We're gonna kick the other bolts away because it kind of damaged a couple of the threads and whatnot. And, here we go. bathroom's wet? Why is it wet? Cleaned it. Alright, so we got this bracket bolted back on, 4 bolts. The motor is hanging. What do you think, Hunter? Motor's hanging. What do you think, Hunter? You ready to use this boat? Sweet. Well, I don't see you out helping. Where's the help at? Well, the motor is installed. 250 Suzuki, hanging under its own weight. Got the bolts tightened up, everything's good. Next week we're gonna clean this thing up, install our steering, hook up the motor, hook up the shifting cables, wiring harness, all that stuff. Show you all about that. And then we're probably gonna start tackling this right here. This is the only real glass work we have left on the boat. Gonna knock that out, and then we're gonna start sanding down this non-skid, getting it flat, and getting ready to paint this bad bird. It is so close to being done. I can taste it. I'm ready to have her done and out on the water. So here we go. Thanks for watching. As always, please like and subscribe. Thank you.